Question 1. Which of the following statements about property insurance coverage types is correct? A. The replacement cost value in property insurance is determined by the original purchase price of the property. B. Actual cash value received in property insurance takes into account depreciation when determining the payout. C. Named peril policies cover all potential risks to the property, including flooding and earthquakes. D. A homeowner's insurance policy typically covers only the structure of the home, not personal property. Answer B. Actual cash value CV in property insurance takes into account depreciation when determining the payout. Explanation. Option is incorrect because replacement cost value is based on the cost to replace the property without factoring in depreciation, not the original purchase price. Option B is correct because SEV considers depreciation, meaning the payout is lower than the replacement cost. The depreciation is subtracted from the replacement cost. Option C is incorrect because named peril policies only cover the risks specifically listed in the policy, unlike all risk policies that cover a broader range. Flooding and earthquakes are often excluded unless specifically added. Option D is incorrect because a homeowner's policy typically covers both the structure of the home and personal property, though certain exclusions may apply based on the type of coverage. Question 2. Sarah is a licensed insurance broker in Massachusetts, and her client asks her to recommend an umbrella liability policy. Which of the following would be an appropriate recommendation for Sarah's client? A. An umbrella liability policy can cover damages to Sarah's personal property. B. The umbrella policy provides additional liability coverage beyond the limits of primary liability policies such as auto or homeowners insurance. C. Umbrella policies are only available for businesses, not individuals. D. Umbrella policies do not cover any damages related to personal injuries or property damage. Answer B. The umbrella policy provides additional liability coverage beyond the limits of primary liability policies such as auto or homeowners insurance. Explanation. Option is incorrect because an umbrella liability policy covers liability overages, not personal property. Option B is correct because an umbrella liability policy increases the coverage limits of primary policies such as auto or homeowners insurance and provides extra coverage for incidents like personal injuries, property damage, and lawsuits. Option C is incorrect because umbrella policies are available for both individuals and businesses. Option D is incorrect because umbrella policies may cover damages related to personal injuries or property damage, extending liability coverage where the policy's limits are exhausted. Question 3. Scenario-based. Mr. Thompson was recently involved in an auto accident in Massachusetts. He was injured in the accident and has filed a claim under his auto insurance policy. He also has personal injury protection (PIP) coverage in his auto insurance policy. Given the situation, what should Mr. Thompson do next? A. He should file a claim with his health insurance company as PIP does not cover medical expenses. B. He should contact the Massachusetts Automobile Insurance Plan to check his eligibility for additional coverage. C. He should immediately seek compensation for his injuries from the other driver involved in the accident. D. He should use his PIP coverage to pay for medical expenses as it covers medical costs regardless of fault in the accident. Answer. D. He should use his PIP coverage to pay for medical expenses as it covers medical costs regardless of fault in the accident. Explanation. Option is incorrect because personal injury protection (PIP) in Massachusetts provides coverage for medical expenses related to an auto accident regardless of fault. Health insurance does not apply to auto accidents unless specific conditions apply. Option B is incorrect because the Massachusetts Automobile Insurance Plan is typically used when someone has difficulty obtaining auto insurance coverage. Mr. Thompson should rely on his own insurance coverage first. Option C is incorrect because while Mr. Thompson can seek compensation from the other driver, his own PIP coverage would pay for medical expenses regardless of fault, making this unnecessary for immediate medical expenses. Option D is correct because Massachusetts requires personal injury protection (PIP) coverage which pays medical bills and certain other expenses up to the policy limit, regardless of who was at fault in the accident. Question 4. Which of the following is true regarding the regulation of insurance companies in Massachusetts? A. The Massachusetts Division of Insurance does not have the authority to approve or disapprove insurance rates. B. Insurance companies must maintain a minimum level of capital and surplus to ensure their solvency. C. The Division of Insurance only regulates the licensing of insurance producers and brokers, not insurers. D. Massachusetts requires insurers to file only their financial statements once a year, with no requirement for audits. Answer. B. Insurance companies must maintain a minimum level of capital and surplus to ensure their solvency. Explanation. Option is incorrect because the Massachusetts Division of Insurance has the authority to approve or disapprove insurance rates to ensure they are not excessive, inadequate, or discriminatory. Option B is correct because the Division of Insurance requires insurers to maintain a minimum level of capital and surplus to ensure financial solvency and the ability to meet policyholder claims. Option C is incorrect because the Division of Insurance regulates both insurers and insurance professionals, including producers and brokers. Option D is incorrect because Massachusetts requires insurers to submit both financial statements and undergo regular audits to verify their financial health and solvency. Question 5. Which of the following is a key principle of indemnity and property insurance? A. The policyholder can receive a payout exceeding the value of the insured property. B. The insured can be reimbursed for the full replacement cost of the damaged property regardless of its age. C. The policyholder is only entitled to recover the actual cash value (CV) of the property at the time of loss. D. Indemnity requires the insurer to provide a payout that covers both property damage and any related personal injuries. Answer. C. The policyholder is only entitled to recover the actual cash value (CV) of the property at the time of loss. Explanation. Option is incorrect because indemnity is designed to restore the policyholder to the financial position they were in before the loss, not to provide a profit. Option B is incorrect because indemnity usually pays out the actual cash value (SEV), which accounts for depreciation rather than the full replacement cost. Option C is correct because indemnity principles ensure that the insured receives compensation based on the value of the property at the time of loss, typically after deducting depreciation. Option D is incorrect because indemnity pertains only to the property value and not to personal injuries, which would fall under other types of coverage, such as liability insurance. Question 6. Scenario-based. Mr. Jacobs has been offered health insurance through his employer, but he is unsure whether to accept it or to remain on his spouse's health plan. He is aware that Massachusetts requires all residents to have health insurance coverage. What should Mr. Jacobs do to ensure he complies with Massachusetts health insurance requirements? A. He can stay on his spouse's health plan as long as the coverage is comprehensive and meets Massachusetts minimum creditable coverage standards. B. He must enroll in his employer's health insurance plan, regardless of his spouse's coverage, to meet the state's health insurance requirement. C. He can opt out of both his employer's plan and his spouse's plan and still comply with Massachusetts requirements by paying penalty. D. He does not need to worry about Massachusetts health insurance requirements as long as he has individual insurance coverage from another state. Answer A. He can stay on his spouse's health plan as long as the coverage is comprehensive and meets Massachusetts minimum creditable coverage standards. Explanation. Option is correct because Massachusetts allows residents to remain on their spouse's plan as long as it meets the state's minimum creditable coverage standards. These standards are designed to ensure the coverage provides adequate health benefits. Option B is incorrect because Mr. Jacobs is not required to enroll in his employer's plan if his spouse's plan meets the minimum creditable coverage standards. Option C is incorrect because Mr. Jacobs cannot opt out of health coverage without facing penalties. Massachusetts has an individual mandate requiring residents to have health coverage that meets state standards. Option D is incorrect because Massachusetts health insurance mandate applies to state residents, regardless of where the insurance plan originates, as long as it meets the state's minimum standards. Question 7. Which of the following is a requirement for insurance producers to maintain their licenses in Massachusetts? A. Producers must complete continuing education courses only if their license is due for renewal every 10 years. B. Producers must submit to an annual criminal background check and disclose any criminal convictions. C. Producers must complete a minimum of 40 hours of continuing education every 2 years. D. Producers are exempt from continuing education if they have been licensed for more than 25 years. Answer. C. Producers must complete a minimum of 40 hours of continuing education every 2 years. Explanation. Option is incorrect because the continuing education requirement is tied to a 2-year cycle, not a 10-year cycle. Option B is incorrect because while producers must disclose any criminal convictions when applying or renewing their license, an annual criminal background check is not mandated. Option C is correct because Massachusetts requires insurance producers to complete 40 hours of continuing education every 2 years to ensure they are up to date on regulations and practices. Option D is incorrect because continuing education is required for all producers, regardless of how long they have been licensed. Question 8. which of the following is true regarding surplus lines insurance in Massachusetts? A. Surplus lines insurance is only available for risks in the state of Massachusetts and cannot be used for out-of-state coverage. B. Only admitted insurers can write surplus lines insurance in Massachusetts. C. Surplus lines insurers must be licensed by the Massachusetts Division of Insurance to write policies in the state. D. Surplus lines insurance is used for risks that cannot be covered by admitted insurers because the coverage is deemed too risky or specialized. Answer D. Surplus lines insurance is used for risks that cannot be covered by admitted insurers because the coverage is deemed too risky or specialized. Explanation. Option is incorrect because surplus lines insurance can be used to cover risks both in and out of Massachusetts as long as the insurance coverage is considered uninsurable by admitted insurers. Option B is incorrect because surplus lines insurance is typically written by non-admitted insurers who are not licensed in the state but authorized to provide such coverage. Option C is incorrect because surplus lines insurers are not required to be licensed by the Massachusetts Division of Insurance, and they must be eligible to write coverage through surplus lines brokers. Option D is correct because surplus lines insurance is used to cover unique or specialized risks that admitted insurers are unwilling or unable to insure, often due to high risk or niche nature. Question 9. Which of the following is true about the Massachusetts Automobile Insurance Plan MAPE? MAPE is a government-run program that provides insurance to high-risk drivers regardless of their driving history. B. MAPE provides standard automobile insurance policies at the same rates as those offered by private insurers. C. MAPE is used only by drivers who have had their license suspended or revoked in the past. D. MAPE offers insurance only to individuals who have been denied coverage by private insurers. Answer D. MAPE offers insurance only to individuals who have been denied coverage by private insurers. Explanation. Option is incorrect because MAPE is not a government-run program, but a program designed to help high-risk drivers obtain coverage from private insurers. Option B is incorrect because MAPE does not offer policies at the same rates as those of private insurers. The rates may be higher due to the high-risk nature of the drivers in the program. Option C is incorrect because MAPE is not limited to drivers with suspended or revoked licenses, but serves individuals who have been denied coverage by other insurers. Option D is correct because MAPE provides coverage to individuals who have been unable to obtain insurance through normal channels, ensuring that high-risk drivers can still have auto insurance. Question 10. Which of the following is a key element in the underwriting process for life insurance? A. Insurers use random selection to determine the premium rates for life insurance policies. B. Life insurers assess the applicant's age, health, occupation, and lifestyle to determine eligibility and premium rates. C. Life insurance underwriting is based solely on the applicant's credit score. D. Life insurance underwriting does not consider pre-existing medical conditions when determining eligibility. Answer B. Life insurers assess the applicant's age, health, occupation, and lifestyle to determine eligibility and premium rates. Explanation. Option is incorrect because underwriting is based on a detailed risk assessment, not random selection. Option B is correct because life insurance underwriting evaluates factors like age, health, occupation, and lifestyle to assess risk and set premium rates. Option C is incorrect because while credit scores may play a minor role, the main factors in life insurance underwriting are health, age, and lifestyle. Option D is incorrect because pre-existing medical conditions are a crucial factor in underwriting as they affect the risk assessment for life insurance. Question 11. Which of the following is a feature of the Massachusetts no-fault auto insurance law? A. Drivers involved in accidents are required to file lawsuits for property damage regardless of fault. B. A driver's insurance will cover their own medical costs and lost wages, regardless of who was at fault in the accident. C. No-fault system applies only to property damage and not personal injury claims. D. The law eliminates the need for auto insurance coverage altogether for drivers. Answer B. A driver's insurance will cover their own medical costs and lost wages, regardless of who was at fault in the accident. Explanation. Option is incorrect because no-fault law eliminates the need to file lawsuits for medical costs or lost wages for minor accidents except in certain situations. Option B is correct because the no-fault system in Massachusetts covers drivers' own medical expenses and lost wages, regardless of who caused the accident. Option C is incorrect because no-fault law applies to both personal injury claims and medical costs. Option D is incorrect because the law does not eliminate the requirement for auto insurance. It simply alters how claims are processed. Question 12. Which of the following is true about the Massachusetts Healthcare Reform Law? A. The law requires all residents to purchase health insurance or face tax penalties, with exemptions for low-income individuals. B. The law mandates that employers with more than 50 employees must provide health insurance to their employees, regardless of income. C. Massachusetts residents are exempt from federal health insurance regulations if they are covered by state-approved health plans. D. The law only applies to Massachusetts residents who are self-employed. Answer A. The law requires all residents to purchase health insurance or face tax penalties, with exemptions for low-income individuals. Explanation. Option is correct because Massachusetts mandates health insurance coverage for all residents, with exemptions for those who cannot afford coverage. Option B is incorrect because the law applies to employers with 11 or more employees, not 50, and the requirements are more nuanced regarding affordability. Option C is incorrect because Massachusetts law does not exempt residents from federal health insurance mandates, but it does enforce its own state regulations. Option D is incorrect because the law applies to all residents, not just those who are self-employed. Question 13. Which of the following describes an exclusion in an insurance policy? A. A statement explaining what is covered by the policy. B. A list of additional riders that can be added to the policy for extra coverage. C. A provision that eliminates coverage for certain types of losses or risks. D. A clause that guarantees payment for a specific type of loss. Answer C. A provision that eliminates coverage for certain types of losses or risks. Explanation. Option is incorrect because a statement explaining coverage is typically referred to as the declaration or coverage section, not an exclusion. Option B is incorrect because additional coverage is added through riders or endorsements, not exclusions. Option C is correct because an exclusion is a provision in an insurance policy that eliminates coverage for certain risks, losses, or damages. Option D is incorrect because exclusions limit, not guarantee, coverage. Question 14. Under Massachusetts law, which of the following is required for a life insurance policy to be considered valid? A. It must provide coverage for both medical expenses and accidental death. B. It must be issued by a licensed insurance company authorized to sell in the state. C. It must cover individuals of any age without limitations. D. It must be approved by the Massachusetts Department of Revenue. Answer B. It must be issued by a licensed insurance company authorized to sell in the state. Explanation. Option is incorrect because life insurance policies do not typically cover medical expenses. They provide a death benefit. Option B is correct because Massachusetts requires life insurance policies to be issued by an insurance company licensed and authorized by the state to sell insurance. Option C is incorrect because life insurance policies may have age restrictions or different underwriting criteria based on age. Option D is incorrect because life insurance policies are regulated by the Massachusetts Division of Insurance, not the Department of Revenue. Question 15. What does an insurance rider typically provide in a life insurance policy? A. A rider increases the cost of the policy without changing the coverage. B. A rider is an additional coverage option or modification added to the policy. C. A rider limits the number of beneficiaries who can receive a death benefit. D. A rider automatically cancels the policy under certain circumstances. Answer B. A rider is an additional coverage option or modification added to the policy. Explanation. Option is incorrect because riders are typically used to add or modify coverage, not just increase cost without changing the policy. Option B is correct because a rider is an additional provision or modification that adds extra coverage or changes the terms of the policy. Option C is incorrect because riders do not necessarily limit the number of beneficiaries. They modify coverage. Option D is incorrect because riders do not typically cancel the policy but may add specific exclusions or coverage features. Question 16, scenario-based. Sarah has purchased an insurance policy that covers damage from fire and vandalism. A hurricane causes water damage to her house. In this case, what type of insurance would Sarah need to cover the water damage? A flood insurance policy, as water damage is typically not covered by standard property insurance. B. An endorsement to her existing policy for water damage coverage. C. A personal liability insurance policy to cover water damage from natural disasters. D. A homeowner's insurance policy should cover water damage as it is an act of nature. Answer A. A flood insurance policy, as water damage is typically not covered by standard property insurance. Explanation. Option is correct because most homeowners' policies do not cover water damage from flooding. Sarah would need to purchase separate flood insurance policy to cover this type of loss. Option B is incorrect because adding an endorsement for water damage would not typically cover flood-related water damage. Option C is incorrect because personal liability insurance does not cover property damage caused by natural disasters. Option D is incorrect because standard homeowners insurance typically does not cover water damage caused by hurricane unless additional coverage such as flood insurance is purchased. Question 17. Which of the following would be considered a hazard under property insurance policies? A. A burglary that occurs in a home with no security system. B. A flood caused by a broken water pipe inside the home. C. The condition of a building's roof that makes it more likely to collapse. D. Fire that destroys home due to faulty wiring. Answer C. The condition of a building's roof that makes it more likely to collapse. Explanation. Option is incorrect because burglary is peril, not hazard. Option B is incorrect because broken water pipe is peril, not hazard. Option C is correct because hazard is condition or circumstance that increases the likelihood of loss occurring. Weak roof is hazard that could increase the risk of collapse. Option D is incorrect because faulty wiring is peril, fire, not hazard. Question 18. Which of the following is an example of an occurrence in an insurance policy? A. A storm that damages a property due to poor maintenance. B. A liability lawsuit filed against a business after a customer slips and falls on the premises. C. A house being destroyed by a fire caused by a lightning strike. D. A regular medical checkup covered under health insurance. Answer B. A liability lawsuit filed against a business after a customer slips and falls on the premises. Explanation. Option is incorrect because poor maintenance is typically an exclusion, not an occurrence. Option B is correct because an occurrence refers to an event, such as a slip and fall injury that results in a liability claim or other loss. Option C is incorrect because while the fire is a loss, the incident is typically covered under a specific event or peril rather than an occurrence. Option D is incorrect because a regular medical checkup is generally not considered an occurrence but rather part of routine health insurance coverage. Question 19. Which of the following would typically be covered under a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Flooding caused by heavy rainfall. B. Earthquake damage. C. Fire damage to the structure of the home. D. Damage caused by the intentional act of the homeowner. Answer C. Fire damage to the structure of the home. Explanation. Option is incorrect because standard homeowners policies do not cover flood damage. Option B is incorrect because earthquake damage is typically excluded unless specifically covered by an additional endorsement. Option C is correct because fire damage is generally covered under standard homeowners insurance policy as it is common peril. Option D is incorrect because damage caused by the intentional act of the homeowner is excluded from coverage under most homeowners policies. Question 20. What does underinsurance refer to in the context of property insurance? Having insurance coverage that is adequate for the full value of the insured property. B. A situation where an insured property has coverage, but the policy limit is too low to fully cover the replacement cost. C. A clause in the policy that requires the insured to maintain coverage for a specific number of years. D. A situation where the insured has no coverage for certain risks. Answer B. A situation where an insured property has coverage, but the policy limit is too low to fully cover the replacement cost. Explanation. Option is incorrect because underinsurance refers to insufficient coverage, not adequate coverage. Option B is correct because underinsurance occurs when the value of the property exceeds the amount of coverage, leaving the insured unable to fully recover their losses. Option C is incorrect because the policy does not necessarily require the insured to maintain coverage for a specific number of years in the case of underinsurance. Option D is incorrect because underinsurance refers to insufficient coverage, while no coverage would be considered uninsured. Question 21. Which of the following is a primary purpose of the Insurance Fraud Bureau (IFB) in Massachusetts? A. To regulate insurance, premiums and claim payouts. B. To investigate and prevent fraudulent insurance claims. C. To create new insurance policies for companies. D. To represent insurance companies in legal disputes with policyholders. Answer B. To investigate and prevent fraudulent insurance claims. Explanation. Option is incorrect because the IF does not regulate premiums or payouts. Option B is correct because the IF's main role is to investigate fraudulent claims and prevent insurance fraud in Massachusetts. Option C is incorrect because the IF does not create insurance policies. Option D is incorrect because the IF is not involved in representing insurance companies in legal disputes. Question 22. Which of the following would not be covered under a typical auto insurance policy in Massachusetts? A. Damage to your vehicle from a collision. B. Theft of personal property from the car. C. Injury caused to a passenger in your car during an accident. D. Medical expenses for a passenger who is injured in another car. Answer D. Medical expenses for a passenger who is injured in another car. Explanation. Option is incorrect because collision damage is generally covered under auto insurance. Option B is incorrect because theft of personal property from a vehicle is typically covered under a standard auto insurance policy. Option C is incorrect because personal injury protection PIP typically covers medical expenses for passengers in your car. Option D is correct because a typical auto insurance policy in Massachusetts does not cover medical expenses for a passenger in another car. This would need to be covered by their own auto insurance or health insurance. Question 23. Under the Massachusetts Workers' Compensation Law, which of the following benefits is provided to an employee who suffers a workplace injury? A. Paid vacation leave. B. Compensation for lost wages and medical expenses. C. Bonus payments for long-term injuries. D. Health insurance for the injured worker's family. Answer. B. Compensation for lost wages and medical expenses. Explanation. Option is incorrect because vacation leave is not covered under workers' compensation. Option B is correct because workers' compensation provides compensation for lost wages and medical expenses incurred due to a workplace injury. Option C is incorrect because workers' compensation does not provide bonus payments. Option D is incorrect because workers' compensation does not cover health insurance for the worker's family. Question 24. Which of the following statements about umbrella insurance is correct? A. It provides coverage only for property damage. B. It offers additional liability coverage above the limits of standard insurance policies. C. It replaces the need for homeowners or auto insurance. D. It provides health insurance coverage for the insured. Answer. B. It offers additional liability coverage above the limits of standard insurance policies. Explanation. Option is incorrect because umbrella insurance provides liability coverage, not just property damage. Option B is correct because umbrella insurance extends liability coverage above and beyond the limits of other insurance policies like auto or homeowners insurance. Option C is incorrect because umbrella insurance does not replace other policies. It supplements them. Option D is incorrect because umbrella insurance does not provide health insurance coverage. Question 25. Scenario-based. John is injured in a car accident, but the other driver does not have insurance. What type of coverage will help John pay for his medical expenses? A. Comprehensive auto insurance. B. Collision coverage. C. Uninsured motorist coverage. D. Medical payments coverage. Answer. C. Uninsured motorist coverage. Explanation. Option is incorrect because comprehensive coverage protects against non-collision related damages like theft or vandalism, not medical expenses from an uninsured driver. Option B is incorrect because collision coverage pays for damage to your car, not medical expenses. Option C is correct because uninsured motorist coverage provides compensation for medical expenses if you're in an accident caused by an uninsured driver. Option D is incorrect because medical payments coverage is designed to cover medical expenses but typically only applies to accidents with insured drivers. Question 26. Which of the following is the primary role of the Massachusetts Division of Insurance? A. To set insurance premiums for all insurance types. B. To regulate and enforce the laws governing the insurance industry in Massachusetts. C. To manage claims between insurers and policyholders. D. To provide health insurance to all Massachusetts residents. Answer. B. To regulate and enforce the laws governing the insurance industry in Massachusetts. Explanation. Option is incorrect because the Division of Insurance does not set premiums for all insurance types but regulates them. Option B is correct because the Massachusetts Division of Insurance enforces laws, ensures compliance, and regulates the insurance industry in the state. Option C is incorrect because the division does not manage claims directly. Option D is incorrect because health insurance is regulated but not provided by the Division of Insurance. Question 27. Which of the following is a characteristic of term life insurance? A. It provides coverage for the policyholder's entire life. B. It has a cash value component that grows over time. C. It covers the policyholder for a specified term such as 10, 20, or 30 years. D. It requires the policyholder to be in excellent health to qualify. Answer C. It covers the policyholder for a specified term such as 10, 20, or 30 years. Explanation. Option is incorrect because term life insurance only provides coverage for a set period of time, not for the entire life of the insured. Option B is incorrect because term life insurance does not have a cash value component that is a feature of whole life insurance. Option C is correct because term life insurance covers the policyholder for a specific period, typically ranging from 10 to 30 years. Option D is incorrect because term life insurance typically has fewer health requirements compared to other types of life insurance. Question 20. Which of the following would not be considered a peril under a standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Fire. B. Theft. C. Vandalism. D. Wear and tear from aging. Answer D. Wear and tear from aging. Explanation. Option is incorrect because fire is a common peril covered under most homeowners insurance policies. Option B is incorrect because theft is typically covered peril under homeowners insurance. Option C is incorrect because vandalism is also covered peril. Option D is correct because wear and tear from aging is considered maintenance issue, not peril, and is generally not covered by homeowners insurance. Question 29. Which of the following is an example of subrogation in insurance? A. The insurance company pays for your damages, then seeks to recover the costs from the at-fault party. B. The insurance company increases your premium after you make a claim. C. The policyholder cancels their insurance policy before the renewal date. D. The insurer sets up a payment plan for the insured to pay their deductible. Answer A. The insurance company pays for your damages, then seeks to recover the costs from the at-fault party. Explanation. Option is correct because subrogation is when the insurance company pays a claim and then seeks reimbursement from the responsible party or their insurer. Option B is incorrect because subrogation involves recovery, not premium adjustments. Option C is incorrect because cancellation is unrelated to subrogation. Option D is incorrect because a payment plan for a deductible is not related to subrogation. Question 30. Which of the following is true about Massachusetts' no-fault insurance system? A. It allows drivers to file lawsuits for minor accidents regardless of fault. B. It limits the right to sue for damages unless specific threshold is met. C. It only applies to medical expenses, not property damage. D. It requires that all drivers carry full coverage for both bodily injury and property damage. Answer B. It limits the right to sue for damages unless a specific threshold is met. Explanation. Option is incorrect because the no-fault system limits lawsuits for minor accidents. Option B is correct because under the Massachusetts no-fault system, you can only sue for damages if certain thresholds, e.g. serious injury, are met. Option C is incorrect because the no-fault system applies to both medical expenses and lost wages, not just medical expenses. Option D is incorrect because no-fault only requires drivers to have personal injury protection, PIP, not full coverage for both bodily injury and property damage.